We want to list the template designers offered for the CBDs and to compare them among themselves and against the Docentric designer. The point is to compare the tools where development isn't needed. Therefore, SSRS, though being a specialized template designer tool, is not in this group. Based on Docentric 10 years of expertise in this area, large customer base, and understanding of their needs, we have made a qualitative comparison of the features that we learned to be the most important for the specialized template designers. Most important of these features are listed here. The technique used for data binding is exceptionally important. How convenient is it to bind the dynamic content with a report data source? What is user experience like? We saw that it took us about 10 seconds to add and bind a new field to Excel business document format, while in the Docentric Designer we got almost immediate result. How well is the binding representing? Is the binding source clearly visible, or you need extra clicks to check it? How easy it is to modify or remove the existing bindings? How are the filtering, grouping, sorting, conditional content displaying performed? How well is the data separated from the design? Can one person deal with design and another with data? We are dealing here with the document type reports like sales invoice and purchase orders. Do we have everything needed for this kind of report, as dynamic headers and footers, concept of pages, sections, breaks, and so on? How is testing against different scenarios, data sets, quantities, languages performed? Do you need to deploy, apply the template, find, or even worse, create the document against which you want to test, and then execute the report? Or you can test your template completely offline by having sample data and labels already imported into your designer so that you don't need to go back and forth between D365 and the designer. How is debugging of unexpected results performed? If your custom field doesn't appear in the output document, or it doesn't have the value you expect, can you intercept the data coming from the data source and inspect it? Or you need a developer to debug through the code? With Docentric, we have an intermediate report execution result, which contains the report data source together with the data. We can check if it has the expected values, and in that way know for sure if the problem is on the data side or in the template side. This is the result of our qualitative comparison, and here are the arguments for it. CBD PDF Designer. Check one of the learning examples. This is the first page of this PDF format. Notice that there are 42 rows in it. And see how this is solved in the Format Designer. We need to figure out how many rows there will be in a page and use that information. And now notice this beauty. You have to split your data source by that number. Then again here on the left you have first page, other pages, then you are merging them, and so on. Next, slightly better by my opinion, is plain Microsoft Word Designer. This is the most important thing here. It is using Microsoft Word built-in content controls and custom XML parts. If that was good, we would be using it 10 years ago. At that moment, we decided that it is not good enough for a professional specialized template designer tool. That is why we didn't go that way, but developed our add-on for Microsoft Word instead. On the other hand, Microsoft decided to stick to it. As a result, many mandatory features are missing, but perhaps there might be some simple, really simple scenarios where you can live with it. Probably you can start from the designs that Microsoft provides. Once it provides them, there is still nothing available, and perhaps paste your logo or modify the colors and fonts. If that is the level of customization you need, it will probably work for you. Then Microsoft Excel as a designer. We see that out of all the 3 designers offered for configurable business documents, this one gives you the most possibilities. But the overhead with named ranges is annoying. As you could see in demo, user experience is poor, manipulation of existing design elements is extremely inconvenient, interface is buggy. Output is Excel, but since recently you can get also in addition the PDF, which means basically that if you're emailing your invoices, you will be sending out both of the documents. Compared to all the CBD designers, I can confidently state this. This is my personal and fair opinion of the designer tools that don't require developer. That is why I have been comparing Docentric Designer with Excel CBD Designer throughout this demo.